40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim. Forty Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to tonight's coverage of the Area 51 Friday Super Speedway Truck Series here on Green White Checker TV. We are ready to bring you the action for the final race of 2025 and the second season here. 75 laps at Talladega Superspeedway. It is a cool 68 degrees in the sim, and we are looking forward to an action-packed night for tonight. You'll hear the voice of myself, Boomer Logan, and my good friend Brandon Briggs alongside me. Brandon, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, Boom. I appreciate it. Championship night. I'm excited. I've been ready for this race since I got off work, and I know the drivers are just as excited as we're gonna crown a champion here tonight.
And speaking of that, we'll jump right into that, getting started a little early just to make sure we can get some time to talk to those points. You see them on your screen there now. And Gabe Butler comes into tonight with 1,101 points. Adam Kilday is just 5 points back, 6 back to Vicente Guerrero and Dean Wilkinson are actually tied at the moment for third. Les Levy there with 1,087 and Eric Laurie with 1,079. All the way back to Paul Witt in 7th place with 1,067. Joshua Hybaugh 2 points behind him, tied with Everett Lane for 8th at the moment. Jim Brooks in the 51 has 1,051 points, where Keedy Engstrom has 1,039 and Cody Nagels has 1,035. So, Brandon, as we're looking at this list, obviously there's 5 drivers separated by 14 points here, and mathematically, I think that's going to put almost anybody else out of the championship possibilities depending on bonus points. But if you are any of those drivers in that top 5, what are the biggest things that you're trying to accomplish as we get into tonight's race?
I think just strategy really with your teammates. It's going to be a real long race. These drivers got to get a run at it last week to really get ready for this. Having Talladega back to back, I love that decision. Really good racetrack, but some drivers, found out what they needed to work on last week, and we're going to see tonight if they made the adjustments. To make their team be successful here. So we got a lot of heavy hitters in this group up here. It's not going to be easy, that's for sure.
No, it's definitely going to be a hard-fought battle for sure. Gabe Butler comes into tonight with that points lead in a really good position to win yet another championship here at Area 51. Adam Kilday, though, obviously Vicente, Dean, and Les are going to see what they can do to dethrone the champ and try to win it for themselves. I think we'll have to see based on the car counts for tonight. I don't think. I think I could for sure say Paul Witt probably mathematically eliminated from the championship. Eric Laurie, depending on how many trucks we get into the show for tonight, will be definitely a tough hole for him to climb out of, but nonetheless should be a lot of fun, and we'll try to keep an eye on that as we go. Obviously, won't be able to update points live, but we'll do everything we can to make sure that that score is settled by the end of the night, and we get a chance to interview our champion, whoever that may end up being. So definitely excited. It's always fun, getting into the final race of the season. Obviously, there's still a lot to play for. Maybe you haven't had the greatest season, and you're trying to win one for the first time, or have a good night, and after what could have been a bad season, or obviously for Gabe Butler, Adam Kilday trying to win the championship. You're trying to capitalize on a good season so far. So a lot of different storylines, and it's kind of fun just to see. Just some excitement seems to build around the final race of the season here, Brandon.
Yeah, and guys like Eric, who's right there on the bubble of being, close enough to battle, they're just as important. If you can't win a championship, you want a teammate that's in the running to get that championship. And as his teammate says all the time, you can't win a championship without your teammates. And just these teams are just going to have to be focused, not trying to do too much too early, and really lock in and stick to the game plan. So we're going to have some guys out here still trying to ruin the fun. Some of these guys ain't running for a championship, but they still want to get a win under their belt because they know how difficult it is here at Area 51 to get get a win. So don't be surprised somebody comes in here and spoils the party.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of opportunities, a lot of good drivers in this field that have a chance. The nature of super speedway racing, obviously, there's always something different going on, and it is more of an even playing field for opportunities to try and win, especially with just the nature of kind of the chaos, and obviously there still is quite a bit of skill that goes along with it, but it's also like being in the right place at the right time and making the right move at the right time. So skill definitely a large part of super speedway racing, but anybody does have a chance to win any given night. And I think that is one thing that does make super speedway racing very special and very unique.
Yeah, not only super speedway, but the track we're at, you know what you're getting when you come here. A wide open track, you can make a lot of moves, plenty of lanes to work with. So if you're a guy that normally rides in the back, you have that opportunity. I can jump to the third lane and get up there within a lap sometimes. It's not like Daytona or Atlanta where you got to be a little bit precise with your moves. Talladega, it really opens up. And the one bad thing that does come with that boom is that big apron. It can end your night real quick because a lot of times down there, that caution flag doesn't wave if you spin.
Yeah, definitely had to be careful. Obviously, we've seen incidents not throw yellows in the past, depending on, obviously it's all based on iRacing's algorithm, and yeah, just have to go by those rules and see where it shakes out. But we've got about 20 seconds left in qualifying here, and then we will get you that starting grid, see who grabs that bonus point for that pole position, if it's going to be one of the playoff contenders or if it's going to be one of the rest of the field trying to close out this 2025 year and the second season here actually first on Friday nights, but second in the truck super speedway series here for the season. So qualifying has finished, so we'll see if we can bring that grid up for you now and keep an eye on who will be at the front of this pack, and it is going to be Dean Wilkinson in the championship hunt, helping himself out early, grabbing that bonus point there for the pole position, and he is going to get it by just 0.02 of a second over Adam Kildee and 0.08 of a second over another championship competitor, Vicente Guerrero. So 3 championship drivers within 0.08 of a second trying to get that bonus point for the pole, but it's Dean Wilkinson who comes out on top. Tom Dixon has had a couple really good weeks, really, on both Fridays and on Sundays, and he is coming into tonight with a little bit of momentum there. He's going to be starting in that number 4 position in that 411 truck in the top 5. That's going to be rounded out by Jack Walls there in that number 83, and then Gabe Butler, current points champion, coming into tonight outside of row number 3 in that 6th position. Looking forward to cap off yet another championship here at Area 51. Jimmy Reynolds in the 988 is going to be rocking with Bootnaka Esports for tonight. And you've got Bob Fitzgerald in the 08 to his outside in the 8th position. Eric Laurie in the 071, again, potentially mathematically out of the points or pretty close to it, but still has an opportunity and will be trying to fight for everything that he can for tonight. And we see Justin Davis in the number 10 truck in 10th place, rounding out that top 10 for your starting positions. Paul Witt, another playoff driver there. He's going to be inside of Hayden Davis on row number 6. And we'll grab that last bit of the grid here for you. Pulling up David Overstreet alongside Jim Brooks in the 51 for the 7th row. And then Keedy Ingstrom is alongside Bud Steele as we are rolling down the backstretch. Lights off on the pace car. Definitely going to be a fun one. Some cool Halloween themed schemes like we've seen the last couple weeks, so it's always cool to see that. But I mean, Brandon, before we get into this, what's your final thoughts here? What's your mindset coming down this back straightaway at Talladega as a driver? What are where you're at? Where's your head at? And what are you looking forward to?
Man, with just looking up there at them at that front 5, there's a lot of guys up there not with a green next to them coming in here trying to spoil the party. That's if I'm one of those guys, that's what my mindset is. Hey, I'm gonna try to take all the attention away from them, and I'm gonna still want and end my season on a high note.
Indeed. Definitely going to be a hard-fought battle to the end, and actually looking like there's actually a couple drivers that are missing the green banner, so we'll try to get that fixed for you, as Adam Kildee should be well within reach of the championship points there, as well as Vicente Guerrero. So, but nonetheless, the pace car is going to rush onto pit road, and we are just about ready to go green flag here at Talladega for 75 laps, coming through the long, patient tri-oval. There's the restart zone. Green flag is out on the speedway for the final time on Friday nights in 2025.
Yeah, Dean Wilkinson got a really good start there on that inside lane, and noticed the 83 Jack Walls is back. Had him a really good season. Had some hiccups there where he was going to miss a couple races, but he's back up there running, and he was a heavy hitter all season long. So if there's going to be somebody to get up there and spoil the party, I wouldn't be surprised if it's at 83 as the 85 already makes a big move to get to the inside.
Yeah, Adam Kildee takes over that top spot ahead of the 55, and that is going to promote the 411 of Tom Dixon there, and Gabe Butler first and second in the outside lane with the 10 of Davis behind them, the 19 of Hayden Davis behind Justin.
Yeah, they've been running good there, the Davis family, and not only here, but Justin's got himself in a running. I believe he's top 5 over there in points on Sunday nights, so pretty big weekend here for him. He's found himself here in his second season with Area 51, running up front pretty often.
Yeah, definitely having a pretty good season and a lot of good drivers out here. And we still have, like we said, about 5 drivers still in contention for the championship for tonight. And yeah, there's definitely a shorter field as we get into the end of the season, but it's definitely quite a bit of fun to watch these guys do battle here.
Yeah, and Tom Dixon, he up here, he brought the gold truck tonight. He knows what it's about. It's championship night. He brought out the 24 karat boom, it looks like.
Yeah, definitely a very bright paint scheme for him tonight, and love to see all the fun Halloween schemes that we've got going on as we're working on lap number 3. Adam Kilday is going to jump back down to the bottom there ahead of Tom Dixon. Gabe Butler is going to be the point on the outside lane, and he's got former teammate Justin Davis behind him and cousin Hayden Davis there. David Overstreet joining us for the first time in a couple weeks, coming back to that number 46 Netflix machine. He finds himself 4th in the outside line, and I believe that's Paul Witt there, 5th in that outside line as we stay 2 by 2, at least 5 rows deep.
Yeah, and David Overstreet, I'm getting a little older, but I believe he clicked off the first win of the season here on Friday nights in that 46 truck. Maybe going to think about into the season the same way as, like you said, seeing the 46 truck back out on track right now, and maybe going to get a third lane going here.
Yeah, we'll see if that third lane can start to form a little bit or not. And looks like it's going to be pretty easy there as there's a good run down the front straightaway for the 429 heading into the outside of turn number 2 now. If they have a decent amount of momentum, they've got 3 trucks up there. That's plenty to get going and have a little bit more push on the outside lane here. Obviously, quite a bit more trucks lined up in the inside lane, but now there's 4 out there, and that third lane's actually forming pretty well right now.
Yeah, you ain't lying. These guys, boom, it's lap 4. Championship Friday. These guys are moving all around. They definitely know they got 2 fast repairs in the back pocket because they're putting on one heck of a show here to start the race. I was leaning back in my chair there a little bit a couple times as you was talking us through there. But, man, we're going to get one around 429 there, it looks like.
Yep, 429 makes contact with the outside wall. That's going to be the first yellow. And I was going to say, this intensity is ramping up very, very quickly from the first couple laps, like you mentioned. Lap 4, and we're already 3 wide, pretty crazy. Paul Witt had a good run there, and looks like not too much damage there, but we're going to take you back to the point of caution here and try to understand exactly what happened coming through the short chute here, and just a little bit of a misjudgment there between the 2 drivers, a Reynolds wrap machine and the 429, and thankfully, obviously you don't see the roof flaps deploy, but in real life they would. But thankfully the car settles down and does not go up and over on its lid, and fairly, you see I think either the hood or the rear quarter panel flying off there, but doesn't seem like there's a ton of damage to either of those trucks, either the 17 or the 429, Brandon.
Yeah, maybe could have caught a break there, but we know iRacing damage visuals sometimes can be deceiving. I definitely bring it down if I'm at least the 429 and get that. At least to me, do you risk it this early? Man, I don't know. That's a pretty big lick. I mean, he comes off the ground. I think I'd rather be safe than sorry and use that fast repair right now.
Yeah, definitely. You see that rear bumper cover coming off of the 429, but other than that, everyone seems to be in a good position. Jimmy Reynolds with the Reynolds wrap paint scheme for tonight. Going to run over that rear bumper cover, and we'll see. I don't know if anybody's going to be takers on pit road. We're going to jump back live here, but yeah, I think taking a look, nobody came down pit road there, which I'm maybe pit road's not open yet, and we'll see at this time. But yeah, it looks like there's a lot of trucks coming down to the apron here that should be probably getting some service done to these trucks, and we should have that first opportunity for that tonight here already on lap 6.
Yeah, not only that, but that's for some of these guys to take them 4D gloves off and really, recoup, man. That was a lot of action packed in just 4 laps there, boom, to kick this night off. Definitely not the way I expected it, especially with some of the drivers up there. Normally they like to keep it a little calm. Nope, they said, hey, we're racing tonight. Looks like the whole field's going to bring them down.
Yeah, so pit road will be open this time, so now you'll see everybody coming down. And want to give a quick little shout out. I know my wife is watching the broadcast right now. Appreciate you, honey, for being the fan in the stands with us, and hope you enjoy some of tonight's action. But Dean Wilkinson's going to lead the field down pit road here. Vicente Guerrero, Jack Walls, Adam Kilday, Gabe Butler, your top five before pit stops here, and we'll see who is going to do what to their machines. The 14 is going to roll through pit road, so is the 88, so that gives them the opportunity to come back down the second time around without penalty and get fuel and potentially tires, but it looks like mostly 5 and 6 second stops for a lot of these drivers, so that is going to be indicative of probably fuel only, no tires, which does make sense with how early on we are here, but while we have the opportunity, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with the first restart of the night.
40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
Alrighty, a little bit of a long caution sequence we have here. Obviously, pit road was open pretty late, but you'll see Vicente Guerrero and Gabe Butler come down. They should be getting their fuel this time by Dean Wilkinson's also going to come down and top off and stay in touch with those leaders in the championship hunt. Adam Kilday is going to stay out on track and will take over that lead position. Justin Davis and Hayden Davis are going to follow him into the top three. Everybody else on track is obviously on the lead lap and going to get some extra fuel in those trucks. And we do actually see a couple drivers taking at least right side tires, a couple actually taking four tires on this longer stop here. So Vicente Guerrero, it will be the first one on four fresh tires. Everybody else ahead of him will just be fuel only. So that puts Dean Wilkinson, Jack Walls, Bob Fitzgerald, and Keedy Ingstrom, as well as Eric Laurie on the freshest set of tires. And you'll see, because a lot of these drivers ended up coming down pit road a second time, there'll be a lot of cars single file in the inside lane. So the only cars that'll be double file in this restart will be the 85 and the 10, but we'll be back to action here, starting up with lap number 9 for this first restart.
Yeah, boom. And this is where it starts to get tough. If you're a guy running for a championship and, for instance, like Gabe came back down, if you, how do you make that decision with your team? I know it's a little tougher, a little bit easier probably tonight with maybe one or two cars from per team and a chance for the championship, but they're going to lose a lot of track position to where now you could be caught up in the mess by having to come down that second time to follow your teammate to make sure you're on the same strategy in case we go green. Do you think, man, does that a little frustrate you if you're a driver? You think a little bit more like, I want the track position. I don't want to be stuck back here. The guys are already going 3 wide.
I mean, obviously it's still very early on, and it is a little bit of a shorter field. I don't think I would be too worried about being stuck further back in the pack, but I'm kind of curious why we only see 3 or 4 trucks here. Not entirely sure. We see Paul Witt's actually further behind, so I'm not sure if there's an issue there, why there's such a separation to the field, but looks like the lights are still on the pace car, so we're going to go at least one more lap here and hopefully get everybody back up to up here in the lineup and get sorted for this restart here. But yeah, no, I don't think you would be too too much of a big deal to have not have a track position at this point. I mean, who knows? I mean, sometimes, obviously, I prefer the mentality of trying to race as hard as you can every lap and taking every advantage and every move you can to move yourself forward. But I don't think it's the worst position to be. If you do find yourself stuck further back in the pack, it's not the worst thing to be there to maybe try to avoid some of the chaos that could be coming, especially with all the intensity we've seen this early.
Yeah, just a complete 180 here. I don't. Dean Wilkinson came in the leader when he came to pit road. He's on pit road again. He sees himself sitting in 16th spot right now. Boom. I don't know what's going on at the 55 camp, but a complete 180 for that team right now.
Yeah, it looks like he came back down pit road and got 4 fresh tires. So he'll be one of 5 other drivers that are going to do that. So not sure if he didn't get those the first time he came down pit road or not, but he'll have them now, and he will be starting towards the back, and we should be lined up here. Lights are finally off on the pace car, so again, you'll see that long single file lane getting ready to restart here at Talladega, and gotta take the long trip through turns 3 and 4, then the tri-oval before we get back to that green flag.
Yeah, Justin Davis is gonna. Good thing for him is maybe him and his cousin here has a plan here, maybe to get out front of the 85 here. As the 19 is going to restart right here behind Adam Kilday, and now that maybe give them a chance, as that would take Tom right there, maybe a second or two to catch back up to Adam. So maybe this could benefit here, the 10 and the 19.
Yeah, potentially. We'll see if. I mean, I'm curious to see if the 19 actually jumps out to maybe help the 10, because like you mentioned, it's gonna be tough because there's only one truck in that outside lane. So, who's gonna make the move to jump up there? There's no penalty in iRacing for moving to the outside of a driver before the restart or before the start-finish line. As the green flag flies once again, we'll be working on lap number 10 as they cross the stripe.
Yeah, right there we see the 19 jump right to the outside, get behind his cousin, and now if they can get up to speed quick enough, the 411 is going to have a really, really good run when he eventually does catch that 85, though.
Yeah, definitely not enough for the 10 and 19 to kind of pull away or pass that 85, but it definitely stalled him out without having any help on the restart there, and it really benefited Justin and Hayden there in that outside lane, and I really love that move that they made, and you see most of the pack's already starting to catch up. Vicente Guerrero is going to be the third truck in line in the outside lane with a big head of steam. He's going to pull the 88 of Gabe Butler along with him back up to the front, as Adam Kilday is going to click off some more laps led and try to put his name early in the hat for most laps led, and that bonus point up for grabs in the championship standings.
Yeah, and I think that's really important for that 85 camp. Came, I believe, into the night 5 or so points back. So we already seen the 55 lead a couple, and we've already seen some chaos early in this race. So maybe if you can get 15 to 20 under your belt, that may be all we need. Is we've seen a lot of moving and shaking up here quick. Lines jumping is looks like the 88 says maybe he's ready to take the third lane.
Yeah, he's going to get back up there with Jimmy Reynolds there, and they are going to be working together in that high lane. And they were the kind of some of the ones that were got that started earlier on before we had that first yellow, and actually Gabe Butler's going to think different of it, and he's going to jump down to the middle at the moment here, but he's going to be behind the 10 and the 19, third truck in line, and then Keity Engstrom follows along, and then two of the Team Bootnakas further on back, the 988 of Reynolds and the 071 of Eric Laurie there will settle back into that second lane.
Yeah, and I think this now we've seen the little bit of excitement earlier on. Boom. I think this is where we start to see. I was going to say patience, but we're going to have a big accident.
Oh, big impact for the 6 and the 19. Yeah, that is funny that we were almost about to mention, hey, it's calmed down a little bit. Man, that happened fast.
Yeah, I was not expecting that at all. It's the 19. Good thing this is a simulator, because man, that was a hit.
Yeah, and you see he just, yeah, I don't think Gabe Butler he got in the back of the 19 a little bit, and we'll watch this here as we see Bud Steele and the 19. This is an instance where you're very happy to see that this is a wreck in the virtual world and not in the real world, because that would have been a really hard lick for any driver there in that hitting that inside wall like that. But we'll take it back, see if we can grab a slightly different camera angle and maybe zoom out a little bit more and try to understand. So yeah, so you see just the 19 and the 10 not lined up super well, and obviously that's going to send the 10 around, and we'll see what else happens up in the high lane. So yeah, okay, Keedy Engstrom got tapped just at the last second, and then Jimmy Reynolds also getting a little bit of a shot there into the outside wall. The 071 slightly collected as well, and yeah, big damage to the front end of that. It looks like is that a Chick-fil-A paint scheme? Chick-fil-A and Dr. Pepper, or yeah, Chick-fil-A and Dr. Pepper. So different. I think that's a different color on the hood. Obviously, I know Keedy usually will run Dr. Pepper, but everyone's bringing some really cool paint schemes here tonight. So we'll jump back live and see what's going to happen now on pit road. It looks like some have already come down for some damage repair, but pit road will be open for our leaders this time by.
Yeah, and what a fortunate break for a couple of those guys that had to come back down pit road the second and third time. They was right back there, and I think most of them missed it. So definitely a hold your breath moment. And now you have that same choice again. Do you take the track position or stay back there in the back? You're going to have to decide right now.
Yeah, I think everyone's going to come down pit road this first time here, and I think we're already seeing some of that. So the only one that we don't see is Hayden Davis and Justin Davis, who actually already came down to get service. So the only one's not on pit road. And then Bud Steele looks like he had a blown motor, so he is going to be taking the tow and coming back to pit road. Hopefully he has that fast repair checked, and when he gets back to pit road, that fender will pop out, that engine will be fresh, and we'll be ready to go. So Vicente and Gabe both roll through pit lane here, and then Adam Kilday is the first one to grab fuel. So we'll definitely see the 14 and the 88 come down a second time, and we'll see if anybody else elects to top off on fuel or not.
Yeah, these guys definitely trying to pull every strategy they can here out tonight. You can see what it means to win. And then an Area 51 championship I haven't seen this much of all season, these guys driving through, and just even at least coming to the second one is Vicente. I don't know what he's doing.
Not sure either. Maybe some potential issues for the 14. Not entirely sure, or he's trying to do something with the keyboard or something and trying to make sure he's not messing up anybody in the pack. Not exactly sure what's happening with the 14 there, but we'll try and get that sorted out. Yeah, so Gabe Butler should be coming down pit road, and we'll try to figure out exactly what's going on with the 14 there. But why don't we take a quick commercial break and be right back with more action on Green White Checkered TV. Alrighty, double file on the restart here. Only a handful of drivers came back down for some extra fuel that time. So it's going to be Jack Walls, Vicente Guerrero, Bob Fitzgerald on back. And Gabe Butler is actually going to stay out on this pit cycle here. So he last pit on lap number 7. So he's not going to come down at all. And he is going to be one that is going to grab that track position, as you were mentioned there, kind of, Brandon, that the difference between what do you want? Do you want track position or do you want to go the distance for fuel? Obviously, we've got a long ways to go to get to, considering, hey, when we're going to make that final fuel stop. But it definitely seems like that's the play for Gabe right now, is that track position.
Yeah, boom. And man, we've had a couple wrecks, and what a move that's a swing by the 88. I don't think lap 7, these guys been averaging 20 laps. That would put himself down there. Maybe here within the next 10 or 15 laps where these guys could go a couple extra. You're really, with this move, dependent on some guys to tear up some race trucks. So this is something to keep our eye on, is I believe Gabe was the points leader coming into the night.
Yeah, I was just going to mention, so Adam Kilday comes into tonight just 5 points back. Dean Wilkinson with the bonus point for the pole position there comes in now tied with Adam Kilday, other than some of the other bonus points that have been earned. And I mean, you've seen Adam up here at the front pretty much. I mean, obviously, it's been a very short race so far, only 15 laps in, but he's been here up at the front pretty much the whole time. And who knows, maybe Gabe Butler's just trying to make sure that he doesn't have an opportunity to get that bonus point for the most laps led, because that would definitely be a good bonus point for Gabe to keep in his back pocket, even though he does have about a 5 point lead at the moment. So green flag will fly on the speedway once again, though, coming to lap number 16, and our second restart. 88 is the control truck.
Yeah, really good start there by that outside line. They really got up to speed pretty quickly, as it's just really them two trucks and a little breakaway. But right now, the outside horses, we would say at the Derby, is now losing a little bit of an edge, as these guys back here, we got a pretty good breakup here between these two little packs here.
Yeah, there's about 5 trucks that have broken away, about a second off of the rest. Obviously, not enough for them to break away and that backpack to lose the draft, but definitely a bit of a separation that you're not kind of used to seeing there. Would have to go back to see if anything happened, but it might have been, could have been an issue with a miss shift, or someone just changing lanes and, upset a couple trucks. But obviously everyone here is doing okay, and we'll double check. It looks like Bud Steele is back in the mix here, so he did get that truck repaired. Keedy Ingstrom is out here as well, and that should put everybody here within. Bud Steele will be the only one that is on 1 lap down. Everybody else will be on the lead lap.
Yeah, and the 88 saying, guys, what are you doing? We was just running 3 wide for the first 10 laps. Why are we breaking apart now? I need you guys to keep racing tough. Is that strategy we just talked about, it's going to come into play very, very quickly. I think we've seen 20 laps here last Friday night with these trucks. So, man, that's a risk there. Is that they're now bunched back up, and that outside lane, I think, is going to have the momentum.
Yeah, Adam Kilday there with the help of Tom Dixon. He's going to move to the bottom and cover the 88 and try to rack up more points for himself for the bonus of the most led. The 411 is going to have the 071 and the 83 behind to try and move forward and see if he can get ahead of those leaders. There is Gabe Butler. Yes, he is going to jump to the high side there, promoting himself to the lead of the outside lane. And now the 411 has a chance to push the 88 back to the lead.
Yeah, and he's seen how good it worked for the 85. He says, hey, let me get right back up here and try to do it right the same way as these two battling, get those laps led. Is now, how does the 411 react? How long do you be patient? Say, I'm just going to be the pusher. I want to get up here. I want to get this win. Boom.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously he's not competing for that championship there, but it's the end of the season. Obviously, lots of opportunities there, and no better way to cap a year or a season than getting that win. And like we mentioned at the top of the show, Tom Dixon has had quite a bit of momentum. Obviously, we've highlighted, hasn't had a ton of interview opportunities in the top 3 in Area 51, but he's had 2 or 3 in the last couple weeks. I think that's 3 on the season for him. And coming into this year, only had, I think, 2 or 3, so almost doubling that total. And you can definitely tell that momentum's there for Tom, and he's had quite a few good runs in recent memory.
Yeah, you're not lying. He really has, and that was really a surprise. I seen the 411 up there early, and he's running in that TW camp tonight. In there with Dean Wilkinson, and as good as he was running, I thought Dean and him was gonna stay up front and give these guys a run for their money all race, especially with the way it started, and some plans changed with how exciting it did get. But Tom Dixon not fading; he's staying right up there with these guys, and we talked about it. I love an underdog, somebody to come in and steal one, and that was my thing to watch for tonight. Somebody to come in and steal one from these guys that would really shake up the points.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's going to be a tall task when you've got those three-team Bootnaka drivers lined up nose to tail in that inside lane, but the 411 is going to do everything he can. He gets Adam Kilday ahead, back to the lead, ahead of the 88. But for Adam, he's doing everything he needs, but he needs more help. He needs that 88 to move back 4 or 5 spots, and it looks like, a little bit of a sideways moment there for the 88. No harm, no foul. We're going to continue on, though.
Yeah, we're going to continue on, and we're getting ready to get three wide racing as all three lanes racy as the 14 is leading that outside third lane, and they're on a charge as they're coming through pretty quickly as the 55. He's getting right back up there as we just talked about it, along with the 64 of Keedy Engstrom.
Yeah, and apologies to all the viewers at home. Obviously, Adam Kilday, his name should be highlighted in green. Vicente Guerrero should be as well. Paul Witt's also in the championship battle there, and so is Keedy Engstrom. So we'll have to get that adjusted for Sunday, and we do apologize that some of those names are missing. But that is a very stacked outside lane at the moment there with Vicente and Dean working as hard as they can to get back up to the front. We're going to be 4 wide for just a second, settle it back to 3 now as the 85 is in the middle and is going to drop a little bit back as the outside line has a lot of momentum and no push to the back bumper of that 88 there through the tri-oval. The 429 and the 14 are going to get clear all the way to the lead.
Yeah, and these guys right here, they're throwing these haymakers early as we're going to be, like you said, 4 wide. It's going to get tight as 88 making a move up there. These drivers aren't holding anything back here in this last race. And man, if I'm some of these guys, I'm going over the radio. Hey, chill out. Some of these Bootnaka guys might have to come down early. They might have to separate them from ourselves. That leaves less chance of a caution, a higher risk of us beating these guys. We've seen the TW guys execute perfectly all year on pit road, especially Dean Wilkinson. These guys, they said, nah, we're just going to go all at it.
Yeah, they're definitely having a lot of fun, and I mean, there is a very high level of intensity early on in this race, and it's definitely been a lot of fun to watch as we are working on lap number 23 at the moment. Vicente Guerrero gets a bonus point for himself in the championship 4-lap lead, and we're going to have a wreck here. The 411 is upside down and around, and 2 trucks on their sides coming down the turn 2 straightaway into the back straightaway there. Man, that was a big moment there for the 08 and the 411.
Yeah, Tom Dixon needs the 40 to back up and knock the 411 over. Bob, we need you to. The 411, I think, is unfortunately going to have to take a tow after a big hit. Yeah, right there. Dang, tough break for him. He was having a good night. Boom.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's still plenty of time to get back in this, but we'll try to take you to the point of caution here and try to understand, well, it's already happening a little bit, so we're just going to take a quick rewind and get a chance to show you more of what's happening here. You see the 411 there getting into Gabe Butler in the inside lane and coming through turns 1 and 2. Try and get a better camera angle, see if we can here. There we go. So it starts here with the 411. The 08 was involved as well. Big side draft from the 85. And oh man, some net code. You can see the space between the 411 and the 17. But the 411 getting sideways there. That was definitely a net code issue, unfortunately. And sometimes that does happen with the nature of online racing.
Definitely no fault there in iRacing. We got to get that figured out. This is Area 51 Championship Friday night. Dang, tough break for them guys, but that's why Area 51 gives them 2 fast repairs. Everybody going to come in, get them fixed, get them stacked back up, and get right back to that great racing.
Yeah, and I think the one who's actually going to benefit the most from that yellow is going to be the 88 of Gabe Butler. So he'll have pretty good. I mean, he's had decent track position all night, but he's going to come into pit road 4th. We'll see if he does roll through again and elect to not pit the first time around. but obviously he had last pit on lap number 7, so he was getting a little close to his window there. We're gonna lap 17 laps since he last pitted, so we're starting to get to a point where he might have needed to pit sooner rather than later, as you mentioned. But I think that's a big benefit for him to not have to come down before anybody else does.
Yeah, and I think right here with Vicente, if I'm gay, I think I just do my pit stop regularly here because Vicente's done the same thing, drive through. I don't see him changing it up, especially being the leader here. So, man, what a lucky break though for the 88. It's got it. I think it's the Guinness. Tomorrow I'm gonna go get me some Guinness, and I'm gonna drink and then play iRacing and see if it works. I don't know if it would be that easy for me. The 14 pits and the 88 rolls through. What a strategy here, Boom.
Yeah, so the 88's going to roll through like he has been. The 14 elects not to and gets his fuel. And we do see a couple stragglers getting 4 tires. Jack Walls is one of them. Actually, Jack Walls spending more time in his pit box, so maybe some damage repair for the 18. Jim Brooks and Keedy Ingstrom over 25 seconds in their pit stall and counting, so some damage repair for those guys, as well as Bob Fitzgerald. Looks like he takes a fast repair and gets out in about 7 seconds. So I don't think anybody took any fuel or any tires here, only fuel on this set of pit stops here.
Yeah, well, I know one thing's for sure is that we can do 1,000 of these races. I don't think we'll ever get one strategy or what we think is going to happen correct one time because there's always a wrench being thrown in it. So just something to keep us more excited on the edge of our seat.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a good battle to the end. Hopefully we get to see some good green flag action here towards the later stage of this one, but we are 1/3 of the way through this one, working on our 3rd caution already, and you know what that means. It gives another opportunity for some sponsor shout-outs and some commercials, so we will be right back.
40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
Base car is going to lead us down the back straightaway before we get to more green flag action here. The 14 is going to be your control truck and your leader, Paul Witt, to his outside. Then you've got the 85 and the 17 side by side. And we are going to be going back green on lap number 27 here. Vicente Guerrero again trying to chase for that championship. Gabe Butler back in 12th place. So with that, it's safe to say that he is not the points leader at the moment if they were to finish in this order, though, because we know that Vicente Guerrero, Adam Kilday came into tonight 5 and 6 points back respectively. But we'll see that 88, see what he can do to get back up to the front of that pack with that track position and get back right into the mix of this championship hunt.
Yeah, the first 25 laps have put on one heck of a show, and if it was a stage racing, I would tell you what, that it would have been probably one of the best stages I ever seen. But these guys right back in here, gonna load back up. 3rd of the race gone. Math better this week. But Vicente is going to lead them to it. And boom, it might only take 10 or 12 laps tonight to get the most laps led. A lot of different leaders tonight.
Yeah, a lot of leaders so far, and a lot of them in the championship hunt, including Vicente Guerrero, who takes the green flag here, lap number 26 into 27. Green flag back out on the speedway.
Yeah, good start again there by that outside lane. And you brought him up earlier, Adam Kilday. He's still sitting right there. We talk about it. Sometimes, you don't have to have all the attention. Sometimes just riding right there in that seat he's riding is sometimes the best seat to be in. So he's doing pretty good as he's still running here for this championship also, as that outside lane starting to get a little squirrely already.
Yeah, outside lane there, the only one, it looks like the 88 is the only one in that third lane at the moment here, trying to do what he can to get ahead, and he might actually get a chance to pass Keedy Engstrom here, or at least pull Keedy along with him and get to that third lane. And Tom Dixon's going to say, hey, I want to try to start and form this here, and Gabe Butler's going to say, you know what, you can do that. I'm just going to hang out here and pick off another spot here, getting back towards the front all the way up to 9th place after the restart in 12th.
Yeah, after all that bad luck Tom had earlier, had to take a tow with being on his side, he finds himself one lap down. So if that caution flag that we have seen a few times tonight comes back out, he is in position to get right back in this running. And boom, I wanted to ask you, does Miss Logan know she lives with a legend? She has the legendary Boom next to her every single day. Glad to see her tuning in. I just peeked in over there as well.
Yeah, no, I think if I'm not mistaken, she's unfortunately not watching anymore, but she was for a while there, and definitely appreciate her. But no, I mean, I'll give her all her flowers. She's definitely a big deal in her own right, especially in her world. Obviously, her world is equine and horse science, and obviously mine is more race cars and gasoline and having fun turning left. But definitely appreciate her coming out and hanging out with us tonight. Taylor Caldwell is also hanging out here. Wishing good luck to all the playoff guys, and have definitely had an interesting race so far. Some really good action 3 wide, but hasn't lasted too long when we've gone 3 wide. We've seen a couple incidents now, and we are working on lap number 29, coming to 30 here of lap 75, or the scheduled distance for tonight.
Yeah, a couple of these guys obviously didn't have them 4D race wear gloves on. That's what it was. They put the gloves on now. A little bit straighter wheels. We can see that third lane guy's not moving as much. Last time I said that, well, somebody ended up upside down. But when you think of the 94 in Caldwell, what's the first thing that comes to mind, Boom? Because I tell you what, he's in one heck of a running on Sunday. He's in the mix.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Maxwell is definitely one of those guys that's going to be willing to make just about any move possible, and he's like aggressive's not the right word to call that, but opportunistic maybe is a better word, because he's a lot of these drivers, they're going to go and they're going to take those opportunities to put their truck in where they know they can to make a move and make a pass. And obviously you see the 88 side draft from the 46 there a little bit through the middle of the corner here. A lot of these guys are not afraid to lean it on your door and race you really hard, and that obviously has led to quite a bit of incidents for tonight. But I mean, some really close racing and some really hard pushing there in that third lane so far.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that, sometimes makes you a better driver. Woo! Holy smokes, Vicente just made a move. Held my breath from that camera angle. Maybe a little bit better for them. But what you're seeing here is especially when you're in Gabe's shoes, the outside along this track is way a little bit longer than where the 14's going in. They only got 3 trucks in that lane. So what you want to do is the air, the way it flows, because this tries to reflect such authentic racing, is that air distributes a lot. So if you can get as close as you can to that truck next to you, it's going to help your line progress forward with less trucks. And not only that, but it puts pressure on the driver to the inside of you. Hey, I can't make a mistake. I got a truck right here. And so right there, as you can see, the 88 can really hang with these guys without being pushed, just because the style racing. And it's not bad racing or dirty racing. It's really clean racing and racing the line that you're stuck in.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a big advantage with the arrow there, and I mean, what they're doing, obviously we don't have a graphic to really show you, but air is basically coming up over the left side of Gabe Butler's car. And when he makes that move, oh no, we're going to have a wreck here. A couple trucks upside down, including Jimmy Reynolds. Hard hits into the inside wall for the 55 as well as the 17, and others involved too.
Yeah, big hit for a couple of drivers there, including playoff contender Dean Wilkinson. Man, what a hard hit for some of these guys here.
Yeah, you see, we're 4 wide at that point. The 071 just kind of gets collected there. Nothing really he can do at that point. The 10, and obviously we saw, Jimmy Reynolds is up and over. The 19 and the 55. 55 is gonna make some really hard contact. Man, that's again thankful that that's not the real world, because man, hitting broadside on a driver's door, hitting any wall is like, it's painful to see, even if it is in the virtual world here. We'll try and take it back one more time and see if we can see anything that happened towards the outside here. Let's see if we can highlight Tom Dixon and try to understand how the outside lane fared. Looks like David Overstreet just gets a little bit of contact there, and he's going to get up into the outside wall and gets into some contact with Keedy Ingstrom, but I think that just about does it for that side of the contact. The rest of it there obviously going to those trucks in the inside wall, and a couple involved there. So jumping back live, we will see who's going to be coming down pit road and who's going to be staying out, or any pit strategy that might be called.
Yeah, I think maybe with the 14, I think he's found this little groove right here. So I think he does the same thing as last time. I don't know why I'm trying to pick a strategy. It's probably wrong, but I think the 14, he wants track position. We've just seen it. Boom. You can get caught up and use them fast repairs quick. And you don't want to have no fast repairs with 5 laps to go in this thing, because we know it can get turned upside down. So I think you pit, stay up front. And I think we probably see the same for that top 4 or 5 right here.
Yeah, with the only caveat, Gabe Butler looked like he was going to not come down pit road for a second. The only thing that I'm curious about with Gabe is obviously he did get some contact in that yellow, so he may take an opportunity here to try and not burn a fast repair and just repair that damage and stay on pit road. So I'm curious if that's going to be the strategy for the 88, or if he is going to come down and get all of or not get any of the damage repaired and maybe take a fast repair. But we'll see there. Dean Wilkinson's coming into his box as the 14 is leaving, and the 85 is too, and so is the 88 of Gabe Butler. So that answers that question. No damage repair for that 88 machine, at least not in this pit stop, or he grabbed a fast repair and is ready to go.
Yeah, I think unfortunately, I think I could be wrong, but I think Tom Dixon was collected in that last one, so I don't think he would have got the lucky dog. Or is he going around? Did he get the lucky dog?
He's traveling a pretty good pace. So
Uh-oh.
yeah, I think he is actually going to be he's not showed in lap down. So yeah, he was able to still, even with some of the contact there, looks like he is going to be the lucky dog candidate, which will put everybody back onto the lead lap.
Hey, let's go for 11. That's what I'm talking about. Momentum still running strong. And so unfortunately, he wasn't in that. Man, that backstretch has called a couple of drivers in there. There's something about that.
That's the
something
second.
about driving back there right now.
I don't know. Vicente did the same thing earlier, and I'm not entirely sure. I mean, the other thing I can think of is like maybe they're trying to text and drive and trying to avoid making contact with other drivers where they do that, but not entirely sure there. And yeah, 46 is going for a little bit of an adventure right now.
Yeah, I think, and normally what gets me coming back there is now I have my fast repair auto checked. So in a lot of races, if especially when you're racing official races, unless you race the long one, the 40 laps, you want to have that stuff automatically checked, because if you're coming into pit road, to me, you just want to get it fixed. But sometimes I get down there paying attention to that black box. Hey, you can find yourself veering off sometimes. Boom.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I've never done it myself. So, so David Overstreet is going to stay out here. So he's going to be the only one that doesn't pit on this cycle here. So obviously only about 10 laps on that tank of fuel that he has in that truck at the moment. So we're going to see Dean Wilkinson on back coming in a second time to get a little more fuel. Apologies for the yawn there. But David Overstreet's going to line up side by side with the 14 of Vicente Guerrero and Adam Kilday, followed by Paul Witt and Gabe Butler in the top five. So that's four of our playoff drivers there. In that top five, then Jim Brooks is in sixth, Jack Walls there in seventh, Eric Laurie in eighth, Keity Engstrom in the playoffs, and Justin Davis also in the playoffs in 10th place right now.
Yeah, some good running here, man. It's a good race so far. It's exciting. I know that hopefully the fans watching is on the edge of their seat as I am. Predictions have all been wrong, which that's what we love because that means we have no clue what's about to happen next. And that always puts on for a good show when these guys up here running. I'm still seeing that 83. Brought him up earlier, sitting there in seventh. He's still a heavy hitter. Don't count that 83 out, Boom.
Yeah, he's had a pretty good season. Obviously, wasn't going to make all of the playoff races, so he removed himself from eligibility. But I mean, he's had a very strong season and a very strong start to these playoffs. He was, theoretically, obviously gave up his spot in the playoffs, but was theoretically leading the points, I think, after the first two races. So that 83's definitely had a good truck all season long and has been in position here, especially in the early parts of these playoffs, to have a good season. So definitely going to be trying to capitalize as much as he can on this final race here. But yeah, lap 35 will be going to 36 when the green flag flies once again.
Yeah, speaking of Jack Walls and them guys, his teammate creeping up there too, Jim Brooks in that 51. Hey, don't be surprised to see him and them guys up here make a move to get to that outside, maybe get up front here and still a couple laps led. Is David Overstreet and Vicente Guerrero will bring us around this long tri-oval.
Through the tri-oval, very, very patient. Through the restart zone now, green flag is back out on the speedway. The 46 is going to jump to the bottom here, and the 85 is going to surge ahead, and we're going to see, not sure if that was a planned move by the 46 or potentially an issue for him there, but he should be able to get back up as we get on the backstretch here and get up to speed. But yeah, definitely interesting to see that 46 there jump out of line. So that's going to be that's going to put a single file for the first 5 or 6 trucks at the front of this field, but the 85 is being pushed by the 88 and the 83, and then Eric Laurie and Reynolds are your top 5.
Now, we've seen this same play happen before with the 411 a couple 10 or so laps ago. The 88 jump out in front of him. Now, if you're the 85, these laps led start to become more and more crucial as we see somebody pulling off to come down pit road. How aggressive do you start to become to start leading these laps as we're now coming close to a little bit to be halfway past this race as Vicente's going to give a huge push to the 88.
If I'm Adam Kilday or the 14 of Vicente, I'm definitely doing everything I possibly can because I mean, Gabe Butler's been up here pretty much all race, and when he hasn't been, it's because of pit strategy, and he's worked his way back up immediately. So these guys, especially the 14 and the 85, they need every single point that they can get, and mixing it up here at the front of this pack. Obviously, Gabe is kind of doing that to try and stay fresh and be ready for when the time comes, and he's been battling up here pretty good as well. But yeah, that the 14 and the 85, I think especially, are going to be you might see some aggression out of those guys trying to make sure that they can get as many bonus points as they possibly can.
Yeah, and this is where, we talked about it all season long, teammates, but as we're seeing right now, you got to be comfortable sometimes with some drivers that you normally ain't comfortable around, I don't know how long, Vicente's ran with the 429, or, you start getting around guys that normally you don't race with. Maybe you're not an every night guy. Some of these guys don't race every single Friday night. So this is really where that solo driver, your knowledge, your history of racing, this is where it starts to come in here, as we can see the 88, 14, they've been around Area 51 for a long time, as the 85 gives up the bottom to the 88. Shocker move there to me.
Yeah, the 88 gets under there. The 85 kind of moves up the track just a little bit, and the 85 or the 88 is going to say, "Thank you, I'll take that spot." And yeah, we saw. So bringing it back to Jimmy Reynolds was the one who came down pit road there. He served a black flag and a penalty there for his pit stop, so he's going to come out. He'll be 2 laps down, and by the time the field actually catches back up to him, probably 3. But there's still time left here for that 988 and try to get back in this thing. But the 85 continues to lead the bottom, pushed by the 88. The 14 has a push from the 429. And yeah, it's interesting as you mentioned there. Not necessarily that these guys aren't used to riding around everybody, because I think for the most part, obviously there's, the core group of drivers here have definitely been pretty stable, pretty common for quite a while now. But I mean, you're definitely right where there's a lot of drivers that aren't working together that aren't necessarily teammates, and not that that's a bad thing, but it's just different. You don't necessarily know exactly what their tendencies might be. You don't know exactly when they like to push or how aggressive they like to be with pushing. So you kind of have to feel that out, and there's definitely a large mix match of no real teammates nose to tail here anywhere within this top 10 even right now.
Yeah, and well, not only that, but being on just the same radio comms as saying, hey, I'm getting hot, scoot up a little bit. I'm not going to push you here or whatnot is last Friday at Talladega and last Sunday at Talladega. We seen overheating issues. Drivers blew up in Friday and Sunday as these setups have been different all year for these drivers. Shout out to the guys that build these setups, keeping these drivers on their toes, never knowing what to expect. Not a crazy, but you could see the guy stayed on the back of the bumpers too long, got comfortable with the engine not blowing up, and then boom, next thing you know, it was gone. So these drivers have to pay attention to that. And when you're not in the same radio comm as them, it's pretty easy to blow up when you're stuck right in there sandwiched.
Yeah, if you can't get out of line right away, that's definitely can be an issue. And you can key up in sim, but if someone else keys up at the same time, depends on it's kind of a 50-50 shot of who's going to be actually heard over the radio. Whereas like if you're in a team chat, typically you have open mic access and you don't have to hit that button for everybody to hear you. So yeah, it's definitely a unique struggle there. But I mean, it's the same thing as, oh no, the 14's going to go around. Maybe some more net code. That's the 5th caution of the night as the 14 is around backwards on the speedway.
Yeah, and I think they had a little bit of bump in the corner, but then I think the net code really topped it off. That's a little bit tough there, but definitely hard racing, and I think the 14's just going to have to bite the bullet and come down immediately here. Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
you see, there's more bad net code. The 14 and obviously they're racing tight, but the 14 and the 85 don't actually physically make contact, or at least the trucks do not. So typically indicative of that net code. But yeah, now it's unfortunate. Was that the 46 also involved in the outside lane, or is that? It's the 64 of Keedy Engstrom actually. So really just the 64 and the 14 involved. Pretty much everyone else looked like they got through mostly okay towards the bottom there. But yeah, that's going to give honestly, Jimmy Reynolds is probably the one that's thankful the most for that caution there, as he is going to should be able to get one of his laps back here and go to 1 down, and then he would just need 1 more and he'll be back on the lead lap. So um, actually, yeah, Keedy Engstrom has what they call a meatball flag right now. So Keedy has enough damage that he is going to be required to pit. So there's a lot of damage to that 64 truck as the rest of the field catches up to our leaders here, and pit road should be open this time by.
yeah, I know Jimmy Reynolds lucky he got the lucky dog or the wave around, but Dean Wilkinson, whoa, right in front of him. We just seen him take that big lick earlier. He definitely would have had to use a fast repair if he was caught up in that, missed it by inches. But Paul Witt's going to lead Adam Kilday and Keedy Engstrom, Gabe Butler, Dean Wilkinson down pit road here.
We'll see if Gabe continues to roll through pit road and pit the second time for fuel or not. Paul Witt in his box, 64 in his box, 85 coming down as well. And we will see Gabe Butler roll on through once again. Dean Wilkinson comes to that first pit stall, and we'll see who gets off first. It's going to be Paul Witt, followed by Keedy Engstrom, who gets the fast repair, then Dean Wilkinson. Jack Walls, Justin Davis, Tom Dixon, Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Brooks, and Bud Steele. Now that order may change by the time we get back to green flag, depending on who comes back down a second time for fuel.
Yeah, and I'm going to bring a stat. My kid is actually sitting right here watching this race with me, and he said the caution was at the first time was at the front, the second was at the back, third at the front, fourth at the back. So are we seeing a little trend here maybe?
Yeah, it's definitely some good observation skills for maybe a future broadcaster in the making. But yeah, no, the wrecks have come from all over, and it is interesting that they've kind of bounced back and forth between the front and the back.
Yeah, and it's tough break for a couple of these drivers. A lot of those, there was nothing you can do. If they watch it back, they can definitely see a lot of net code here tonight. Nothing anybody can do. Just unfortunate break on a couple of these, and I don't think we have a couple of these if it isn't for net code. So these drivers really testing their patience here tonight. I think to be a champion, you got to be a complete driver, and this race is definitely making you do that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm really surprised to see that there is this much of an intensity this early on. I mean, obviously, there's a lot at stake for, a lot of drivers here in the playoff hopes, in the championship hopes here, and it's interesting to see how aggressive they really have been. We'll see who comes down a second time for pit road. It looks like going to be the 88. Is anybody else going to come down? I think the 55 will be the next one to come. Then the 83, the 64 comes as well. The 411, the 08, and others coming down pit road for the second time. So that's going to put Paul Witt back to the lead with Justin Davis and Jim Brooks behind him. And while we have the opportunity here, we're going to go back to a quick commercial break here.
40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
We're going to re-rack and stack them here. The 429 will be in control once again. The 10 to his outside. The 51, the 6, the 19, the 071, the 46, the 85. Your top 8. Then Keedy Ingstrom, Jack Walls, and company behind will be starting single file through the rest of the pack. So Jimmy Reynolds is going to be one lap down after that caution, and looks like he still may have, or he's catching back up to the field here, but we are good to go and just about ready to go back green on lap 45 here.
Yeah, it's going to be a good front row here as Paul Witt and Justin Davis is going to bring us back to green flag. As now we are back to green here. A little bit of hiccup there for the 51 as we get back going here, and that's going to stall out the 429. That's going to give the opportunity to Justin Davis to get a point lead here. As these guys, we can see a bunch of them took the pits, and now somebody else to capitalize on a point for leading a lap.
Yeah, and I think for the 10 of Davis, so he's not in the championship battle, and you see his name there in green. So again, we apologize for those mistakes. We'll get those corrected for Sunday night, but still plenty to play for that 10. And we saw the disconnection from the 429. It didn't do much damage as the 51 gets there eventually, and now that bottom surges ahead through turn 4. And but I mean, pretty good alignment from the 10 and the 6 from the drop of the green flag on this restart.
Yeah, and as broadcasters, we're not to play favorites or anything, but I tell you what, if that old 51 put it in victory lane, I wouldn't be mad. Jim Brooks was the first person I met when I came to this league via Facebook, and was open arms and nice. As we see some guys here, is that the 88 doing a pass through?
Yeah, black flag served for Gabe Butler, pass through penalty. Jimmy Reynolds comes down as well. Now, Jimmy wasn't actually serving a penalty. I have a feeling that this is some teammate help to get the 88 back up to speed quicker than him being by himself. So Gabe Butler comes down. He serves his pass-through penalty. That's going to put him about 25 seconds off of the lead at the moment here, as his teammate in the 071 jumps from the top side to the bottom and grabs a lap lead for himself here at the stripe.
Boy, Eric Lowry getting up here, getting him some in a Juan Deere truck. But man, tough break there for the 88. And if you're these drivers knowing that the 88 had to come down, which if this stays green, he's eventually going to be a lap down with coming up on 25 laps to go in this race. If you're those guys second to fourth, gloves off, hey, we got to go for it now and try to capitalize, as we can see the 85 of Adam Kilday getting right back up there. Laps we're going to start counting down instead of up. Hey, he wants to get all those laps led.
Yeah, we mentioned, coming into tonight, 5 points, 6 points, the gap back from Gabe Butler to Adam Kilday and Vicente Guerrero and Dean Wilkinson. And obviously Dean Wilkinson towards the back of this pack here, but still connected to the lead lap or the lead pack, and has the opportunity to jump to the front if he wants to. He's definitely trying to take it easy and conserve that truck. But Adam Kilday is doing everything he can to lead every single lap, and that is potentially a championship killer for the 88 of Gabe Butler, and the 85 of Adam Kilday is in really good position to capitalize on that.
Yeah, and this is where it comes in. So you got to race all 75 laps. 48 of them won't get it done here tonight, and we know how crazy Talladega is. And I'm telling you right now, Boom, if the 88 somehow comes back as we are on lap 48 to pull this off and win this championship somehow, I'm switching completely to Guinness. I will never drink nothing else again in my whole life. Is never count him out of it. This is a big racetrack, 2 3/4 mile track here. Anything can still happen, but right now his teammate Eric Lowry up here leading this thing is Bud Steele has made his way to the front.
Yeah, Bud Steele kind of quietly has made his way forward. Obviously involved in a couple of the incidents tonight, but finds himself there now second in line in the inside lane behind the 071 and in front of the 10, the 85, and the 64 in the championship hunt there. Lined up nose to tail in the outside lane. Tom Dixon in that 411 getting right back up in the mix of things. And the 46 there, you see the fourth truck in the inside lane, that's Vicente Guerrero. So where Gabe Butler is, if he is not able to rejoin this lead pack, that championship battle is going to come down to Adam Kilday and Vicente. And Adam is obviously winning that battle at the moment, and that 14 wants to do everything that he possibly can to catch that car and pass him, because obviously they came into tonight just 1 point separated between the two, 5 points and 6 points back respectively again to Gabe Butler, and the 85 is going to make a big move to the top side, try to get around that 071, and I think he's going to stall out, but he does have the 46 coming to help him here.
Yeah, he's going to need some help here. And where he's really going to need some help is right now we've ran quite a bit of green flag laps, knock on wood. But we haven't seen it yet tonight. Green flag pit stops. You can't make a mistake. I was scrolling through the Discord. Adam Kilday, David Overstreet, 2 trucks. That's really tough to pit with. So that means you're going to probably be watching for maybe another team to come to pit road. TW Motorsports has executed pit road all year long. They're going to have to execute it tonight for Dean Wilkinson. I see quite a bit of those guys linking up back there in the back. This could be what it's all came down to all year, 1 pit stop.
Yeah, we get to 25 laps to go, and that window to the end is opening soon, and we will see who's going to take it first. Curious if anybody goes the second that it's open and available, or if they're going to wait it out. I mean, it definitely seems like There's, I mean, obviously we're 3 wide at the moment here, but there's not as near as much intensity as there was, but anything can happen at any moment within a playoff race. But it is possible that we could be getting to a longer green flag run here if it does keep calm and settled out like this.
Yeah, one thing me and Gael talk about on Sunday nights is pitting from the back, how much time distance you lose from pitting back there to compare to up front. I think that's different tonight. If I'm TW, I link up all my guys in the back, and we peel off last second. To me, soon as the window opens, soon as your window opens, pit. Make the field a lot smaller, less chance of disaster that way. And here before long, those guys will eventually have to start peeling off also. So that would be my strategy, Boom, if I'm those guys. I get together, and as soon as that window opens, I come down just to try to eliminate trucks from maybe wrecking. As you know, they're going to start to get lined up to get ready. And then not only that, but Vicente running with, I believe it was Paul Witt tonight, another 2 trucks. Tough to pit here at Talladega with 2 trucks. You just can't connect that speed, as we're going to see. Oh, they're going to save it.
Ooh, saving it, and then they slide through the grass, but they keep it pointed forward. No yellow. That's going to take a lot of this field and jumble it up, but the 23 laps to go, the 071 is going to be off the pace here, and he's going to lose touch with this lead pack here. And, man, we're going to see where this settles out, but Adam Kilday, Vicente Guerrero, and Keedy Engstrom, your leader at the moment. They are probably going to have a breakaway as David Overstreet is 1.3 seconds back without any drafting help. Justin Davis is further on back, but it looks like this pack 411, 83, 51, and 429 might have enough momentum to get back up to the 10 and the 46 and push those guys back up to the lead. And then the 19 of Hayden Davis is catching. So is Bob Fitzgerald, Dean Wilkinson, Bud Steele. I think the only one that's going to be off of this pack is just going to be Eric Laurie, who's about 5 seconds off of Bud Steele. And that gap is closing, or is growing quite a bit. But so is the gap back to David Overstreet and off the rear bumper of Vicente Guerrero. But thankfully, the 10 is there now. The 411 is going to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go to this outside. The 83 is going to take that head of steam. The 51 is going to probably move too. Maybe not. He's going to stay in line there and hold that bottom. But the 411 and the 83, these guys are going to try to do what they can to sync back up with those leaders. You see they've lost almost 4 seconds to our leaders. Tom Dixon has, at least, and we'll see if that number starts to change. But they definitely need a little better organization here to get good pushes and make good lap times here, even if they do have quite a bit more cars in this pack.
Yeah, if I'm these guys right here, I don't even know if if the window was like last week, I think it was 20 or 22 laps these trucks ran. If that window opens, you guys have already lost a lot of time. And just like you said, this is unorganized. I come pit now. Those guys up front, 3 trucks, Adam Kilday, Vicente Guerrero, all those guys are in different discords. So make it tough on those guys. Make them have to come under with no communication except, over the race, chat. And they're not very organized up there either. So I don't know. This is real tough because these guys up here are not organized one bit. And that time is trickling down the other way very, very quickly.
Yeah, it definitely seems like Tom Dixon has a pretty good head of steam there. And it makes sense. There's about 10 trucks in that second pack, which does make a huge difference. The last time by, Adam Kilday ran a 50.88 to Tom Dixon's 50.54. So about 3/10 a lap they're gaining on him, which does make up some ground. But we're pretty close to... Yeah, so if we're working on about lap 55 at the moment, we're probably about 10 laps away from everybody having to pit anyway. And yeah, by the time that cycles through, if nobody tries to pit early, I think this group right here is going to be able to catch back up to our leaders, and then we'll have a 13-horse race to the finish here.
Yeah, Boom. If you're Dean and you guys see, they have the relative and the tracking. If you see how much time you're clicking off as the big group TW has in this group, do you say, hey, let's peel off? Let's not catch these guys. Let's not let them get back with this group. Let's peel off immediately and let them keep running slow lap times. We'll come have the shorter thing for fuel because we won't have to, fill up as much as these guys will. And then hey, let's just clock this time by ourselves, and these guys will really struggle from that.
Yeah, I think it just really kind of depends on who's going to be coming together because, we've mentioned not a lot of teammates are lined up nose to tail. At least they haven't seemed to have been most of the night. And, if you don't have that organization to be able to, come down all together, that may not be as helpful. But it could be an opportunity, like you said, to hang out the 85 to 14 and the 64. But if you look, that last time by, it was a 50-56 for Adam Kilday, a 50-59 for Tom Dixon. So that gap has now stabilized at about 3 seconds behind our leaders for the fourth place truck.
Yeah, I'm just if Dean, this is I mean, you gotta take a chance here. You came in 5, 6 points below Gabe, and we see him running right now in the 15th spot, and you got about 5 or 6 trucks in TW, and that could be the 5 or 6 spots that you need if you count the win. So he's already got the bonus point for leading the lap, and now Adam Kilday is, I would assume he's been up there just clicking off laps, so he's probably almost got the most laps led in the basket, and so every spot is going to mean so much. Uh, Dang, what a what a position to be in.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, Adam Kilday, I think, is in the catbird seat right now. Obviously, Vicente Guerrero is right there. I think Adam's going to be close to getting that bonus point for the most laps led. So Vicente's probably going to be needing to look to finish probably 2 or more spots ahead of Adam Kilday, unless he is fortunate enough to win a tiebreaker. And I'll be honest, not even sure exactly what that would entail at this time, but it'll be definitely advantageous for Adam Kilday. I think with pretty good confidence we could say he would be the championship points leader as they sit, with obviously Gabe Butler being back in 14th and about a spot per position plus some bonus points for the leader or for the winner. So the 85 is in really good shape. The 14 really is too, but its biggest problem is the guy that's came into tonight 1 point ahead of him and may have the bonus point for the most laps led is sitting in front of me. So that puts him 3 points behind, which again means you got to finish at least 2 ahead of him. And if he finishes first, you can't do that.
Yeah, and I tell you what, that trains are rolling back there. Oh, Tom Dixon in that gold truck, he's a rolling. He's about to catch these guys. I would assume as they hit the tri-oval, that line decided. Oh, they said, oh, everybody's been.
Wow, so that was definitely advantageous for that second group. They just about caught the leaders and then came down pit road all together. That puts about 10 trucks on pit road. Justin Davis and Hayden Davis are going to stay out. They're not super well connected, so they will lose a little bit of time here. Gabe Butler and Eric Laurie, well, Gabe Butler and Jimmy Reynolds still working together, and then Eric Laurie is actually behind Gabe Butler at the moment here. But Justin Davis, Hayden Davis stay out, and just about everybody else is coming down pit road and getting service done to these trucks. That's going to put Keedy Ingstrom off first, then Adam Kilday, Vicente Guerrero, and Tom Dixon. So we'll jump to the leaders of Justin Davis and Hayden Davis. As actually looks like Jim Brooks is still stuck on pit road. Gabe Butler is going to come down with Jimmy Reynolds. Eric Laurie is going to come down this time by. Yes, Justin and Hayden are going to come down this time as well, and we'll see where they shake out.
Man, these guys really got to get going. And one guy that really needs to hustle, Dean Wilkinson. He's about 2 seconds back from Bob Fitzgerald, and you don't want to lose this pack. Unfortunately, it's looking like it's heading the wrong direction as Jax hopefully can catch him, and these guys can catch back up here as these guys are starting to thin out a little bit after these pit stops.
Yeah, Bob Fitzgerald is actually losing pace to that pack as well. So Dean's 2 seconds off of that, and that gap from David Overstreet to the 08 is growing, and that is definitely detrimental to Dean Wilkinson coming into tonight, tied for third place in the point standings, and he is in jeopardy of losing this lead draft. But back up at the front, the 85 moves to the top side to get back around the 14 of Vicente Guerrero. Again, Vicente may likely need to finish 2 spots ahead of the 85 in order to win this championship, and he is going to do everything he can to get around that 85.
Yeah, everybody in my house probably thinks I'm the nature boy. Man, that was a lot of woos. Vicente and Adam Kilday are up here throwing some good moves. Some hard racing is Tom Dixon once again right there in that outside lane is going to have to play pusher for a little bit longer here, as this is a nice little six truck pack here. And it's not over, because these trucks are definitely doing a lot of moving. And all it takes is one wrong bump for that caution to come back out, and we have a good 15 to 16 trucks under a blanket.
For now, it's just 6. Bob Fitzgerald leads the second pack with Dean Wilkinson, Jack Walls, Justin Davis, and Hayden Davis. 5 seconds off the rear bumper of Paul Witt. And they are, it looks like, running a little bit slower lap times than the leaders are at the moment. This next time around, we'll kind of get a good gauge of where everyone's running in comparison and see what those speeds are. But this lead pack out here is holding pretty strong. Again, the 14 of Vicente Guerrero needs to finish ahead of the 85 by likely 2 positions in order to win the championship. If the 85 can finish ahead of the 14, it is going to be pretty easy for him to grab this victory, especially with the penalty to Gabe Butler and where he is sitting in 14th in the standings at the moment, in the running order, I should say, not the standings.
Yeah, and they're not too far away from him also. So if you're Vicente sitting there pushing the guy, you got to be around. But also, right there is David Overstreet running right there on the inside lane, who's running with Adam Kilday. So you're definitely trying to make some friends here real quick. He does have Paul Witt. He is running with Paul Witt. So now you make your decision. Hey, when do we make our move, and how do we make our move?
Yeah, there's still plenty of time left for everybody here in this top 6. 11 laps to go, and everyone's just kind of trying to figure out where they want to be. Right now, it's pretty quiet, pretty status quo, but we'll see if anybody tries to make a move to that third lane. Eric Laurie is going to have that opportunity to do that, and he's going to be a lap car that's going to be in the mix here with this top 6, as the 85 jumps down to cover the 64, and that puts the 14 back out to the lead in the top lane.
Yeah, and that's definitely what, if you're Vicente or Adam, either or, you're not running with him, but another truck that could help your line at the end, and that's all it takes is the better line. And man, I'm glad we get to be up here for this and not in the driver's seat, because 10 laps to go, it's gonna get wild.
Wild indeed, as the 85 and the 14 try to decide who's going to win this championship here. Didi Engstrom is in the playoffs, but mathematically unable to win it. Still able to finish the season strong. Tom Dixon has had quite a few strong finishes lately. Does he get another one for the 3rd or 4th race in a row between Sundays and Fridays? David Overstreet comes into the season early with a victory and has taken a few weeks off, but glad to see him back in that truck and battling pretty hard and in good position here towards the end. Then you've got 2 teammates. The 071 is currently a lap car, and the 429 was working with him in the outside lane. We'll see if those guys have a chance to put Paul ahead of this group here. Paul is another one of those who's well in the mix for the championship battle, but most likely mathematically eliminated already coming into tonight with the amount of cars we have in the field. But still, again, anybody's game to try and finish this season out strong. And obviously the 2 side by side for the lead right now are the ones trying to determine who's going to take home that championship.
Yeah, boom. We've had 11 different winners. Oh, we got a blow up. Tom Dixon has blown up. So we were talking earlier, he was pushing really tough on the 14. He is going to blow his motor. That's going to be another tough break for Tom Dixon. Dang, man, what a night he's had. He's been having some good running, and then a couple bad incidents tonight man, hopefully he can limp it back around.
Yeah, that's such a bummer for the 411. I mean, he's had some really great runs all season long, and especially here lately. Hate to see that happen to him. this late in the running. So that's going to whittle it down to 5 drivers who have the opportunity to win here tonight. Adam Kilday continues to lead the outside lane ahead of Vicente Guerrero. The 64 of Keedy Engstrom has the inside lane, and the 46, they are looking to finish the season strong, but again, the 85 and the 14 trying to determine who's going to win this championship here, with Gabe Butler and his penalty stuck back in 14th.
Yeah, as I was saying before Tom blew his engine up, we've had 11 different winners so far here this season on Area 51. I don't know the record, but I know that's got to be up there. And Keedy Engstrom, he says, hey, I want to make it 12 this year. Keedy Engstrom hasn't got a win this year. What a way to end his year with getting a win here at Talladega as he leads them down the backstretch ahead of David Overstreet.
David Overstreet, we mentioned one earlier in the season, has had a pretty good year. Definitely didn't finish or didn't show up for all the races, but when he has been in contention. Keedy Engstrom has had a pretty solid season, got himself into the playoffs, and is currently scored in 11th place in points of the 12 playoff drivers, and looking to finish this season out strong. And this is something that the 14 really wants to try and see, at least the 85 not being the leader of any line. And again, I keep reiterating it, but the 14 would need to finish at least probably 2 spots ahead of the 85 if the 85 gets the bonuses or the bonus point for the most laps led, which is fairly likely from what we've seen here tonight. But if Adam Kilday can stay within 1 or ahead of the 14, it's likely his championship. 6 laps to go. It'll be 5 laps here on Friday nights in 2025 as we cross the stripe the next time by.
Yeah, they're going to catch another truck right here. A few more trucks. This is going to add Gabe Butler and Reynolds to the mix. So we're going to have 8 trucks in this group. And with 88, I would assume these guys are going to go right here high. But now what line do they choose to run in? They could now play a factor. Gabe, it's going to be tough unless we get a caution here in the next 3 laps or so. But his night, unfortunately, could be close to over. Who does he decide to help out here as we see the 071 hop up there? And now they're going to catch Jim Brooks. So a lot more trucks going to play a factor here in the end.
Yeah, I think, just for the nature of some of these Team Bootnaka drivers, they're either going to try to drive to the front or they're just going to stay out of the championship battle altogether. But obviously Gabe has quite a bit to battle for here. If he can stay on the lead lap, were a caution to come out, he would be able to race back up with these leaders and try to regain his advantage in the championship standings. Right now, Vicente Guerrero is ahead of Adam Kilday, but likely 1 point behind him in the championship battle, and we are 3 wide. The 46 and the 85 are nose to tail. The 14 would love to be leading that middle lane with 2 trucks, 1 truck between him and the 85. At the moment, they are next to each other in the running order, because obviously all the drivers in that 3rd lane are a lap down.
Man, how nervous right now do you think Keedy Engstrom is? He's surrounded by a ton of playoff drivers, trying to get his first win of the year, knowing everything that's behind him. And what you got to do, you got to lead that guy that's battling for a championship and trying to make that line prevail as best as it can be and hold the line as straight as it can be. Definitely some pressure up there for some drivers. And I tell you what, he's doing a pretty good job. Vicente's been able to stay right there, and they haven't lost much. You got a pretty good driver on the outside leading that second.
Yeah, definitely. Gabe Butler's doing everything he can to fight and claw his way back into this, and he's going to get to the lead there and jump back to the bottom. Adam Kilday is going to push the 46 ahead in the high lane and see what they can do to get back to the front of this pack. The 46 is clear to the bottom, and he's going to take it. The 85 will stay to the outside ahead of Vicente Guerrero at the moment. 2 laps when we get back to the line this time by.
Yeah, going to pick up 1 more truck there. It looks like maybe the 6 of Bud Steele. A little Halloween paint scheme there. And now Gabe Butler's back on the outside. And what I noticed, big bump there. 2 laps to go here, but 14 backed off quite a bit, making sure he's cooling that engine down as We got a lot of mix-up going on here. Ooh.
Ooh,
Ooh.
3 wide. Ooh, a little squirrely there. Oh, the 071 makes hard contact with the outside wall, but stays pointed forward. We continue on. The 85 leads the 46 and the 14. The 88 leads the 64 in the inside lane. At this moment, it should be Adam Kilday's championship to win. Vicente Guerrero would have to pass him and hope that one more car at least passes that 85 as well. White flag is out on the speedway. Can Adam Kilday close this out and bring home a championship?
Yeah, he's going to have to run a perfect line, 46 pushing them there. You don't want to push him in the wrong spot, the 14 right on the back bumper of the 46, making sure that he runs a perfect line here. Is now as the 14 has to make a decision, when do I jump out? And it looks like he's going to go now. He does have the 429 Paul Witt behind him. Gabe does the respectful thing, moves out of it. I'm not in this no more. Let these guys go out there and battle for it.
Battle for it indeed. The 14 jumps ahead of the 85. The 429 loses his partner there. The 14, is he going to move to block? No, he's not. He jumps to the bottom with the 46. This is everything that Vicente needs at the moment here, as long as they can get back to the line without wrecking, and they're going to do that. The 429, the 85 sideways to 64 to the outside wall. Vicente Guerrero is going to come home the victor, but Adam Kilday may have won the championship. We will wait for official confirmation, but 1 point or 1 position between the two, and this is a very close championship race. Vicente Guerrero gets bonus points for being the race winner. It's either 2 or 3 extra points over second place. Adam Kilday does have bonus points that we believe he earned for the most laps led. This is going to be a toss-up as far as who just won this championship.
What a finish. Holy. I thought at the beginning of the tri-oval, Kilday didn't stand a chance. I thought he was going to be caught up in that. He somehow keeps the truck straight, wills it to a second place finish, and maybe saved his championship hopes. I'm so glad I don't have to do the math on this, because we'd be here all night.
Yeah, we're not going to call it either way, because, I mean, that genuinely could go either way. Vicente finishing a couple spots ahead of, or well, he finishes ahead of Adam, but the bonuses for winning a race are definitely more than a few points. So this is potentially big. If Vicente pulls this off, that is going to be a really great finish. He needed to be at least 1 spot ahead of Adam. Being the race winner makes a big difference for him, and we'll go through that final results here and try to bring up the rest of the field. So we saw Vicente Guerrero and then a 14. He comes home victorious. Adam Kilday fighting and clawing on that final lap. Everybody making moves, everybody making contact, but Adam Kilday holds a pretty wheel and gets back to the line second. Will it be enough to win the championship? We'll have to wait and see for the points update from our admins, but Paul Witt, he's going to come home in the 3rd position, the last place on the podium there, and Dean Wilkinson recovers for a solid top 4 finish after spending a lot of the night riding around and back trying to avoid the chaos. Justin Davis had a pretty strong night for himself. He's going to finish in that 5th position, and Jack Walls in that number 83, just a couple hundredths of a second behind him there in 6th. Bob Fitzgerald caught up in at least one of the cautions we saw, having a good recovery there for himself. David Overstreet right in the middle of it, in the mix towards the end. Unfortunately, gets caught up on that last lap. Big contact with that outside wall, and he's going to have to settle for 8th tonight, but still a very respectable top 10 for him. Hayden Davis is going to be the last car on the lead lap there in that number 19, and then Keity Engstrom will be your first truck 1 lap down. Jim Brooks finishes 1 lap down as well in 11th. Gabe Butler, he gets the pass-through penalty on what ends up being the final caution of the night, having to come back down the lap after the restart to serve it. And it puts him in a deficit he could never climb out of, and he will finish in the 12th position for tonight. Bud Steele in the number 6 for Roswell Motorsports in the 13th position. Another Team Bootnaka Esports driver, Eric Laurie, in 14th. And then Tom Dixon, we saw the motor expire towards the end of the race from overheating after having a really great run all night long and having some really solid runs through the last couple weeks. It's unfortunate to see his night end the way that it did. And then obviously Jimmy Reynolds caught up in a couple of incidents for tonight. Mostly, I mean, we saw a lot of netcode contact, but definitely some issues for Jimmy Reynolds there and coming home 4 laps down. So, yeah, we are still awaiting official confirmation, but that's definitely going to be a very exciting finish to that season here. And we'll see if we can get points updates because obviously we have to interview both of the potential playoff or potential championship winners here between Adam Kilday and Vicente Guerrero. So we'll see. Well, we can knock out the interview at least with Mr. Paul Witt. So let's see if we can find him and bring him up into the booth. I think we've got a copy with him here, and we'll bring him in now. So we've got Paul Witt with us here, and definitely a very exciting finish to this race. Lots of championship implications towards the finish. Obviously, you know you're in the mix for the championship and the playoffs as well. Take us through from your perspective behind the driver's seat. What did it take to get to that third place finish here tonight?
Well, my whole job tonight was to help Vicente get up there and win the race and get the most points. He was right there for the championship. So hopefully I did my job and got him up. Got him the win at least. Hopefully that was enough to in the points to get my teammate the championship.
Man, you guys definitely put on one heck of a show. And was it that exciting to drive as it was to watch? I mean, I was loving every bit of it. I know it was a little bit more cautions that I think people would like, but netcode had a little bit of a problem. But was it exciting to drive there tonight?
Yeah, it was at towards the end once we started getting that green flag running. Um, I knew I fell back a little bit from that mishap there that some guys got loose and almost wrecked, and I had to give everything I could to get onto pit road to keep up with Vicente, and I passed a few guys coming in, so it was pretty exciting.
Yeah, it seemed very exciting indeed. Indeed, obviously, we're still awaiting official confirmation, and we believe Adam Kilday may have gotten bonus points for the most laps led, but obviously a big advantage to Vicente. We said for most of the latter part of the broadcast, we said he would need to finish ahead of the 85 by at least one position, most likely two, but obviously with the win and the bonus points that come from that, could be enough, but we're not entirely sure. But obviously you mentioned, trying to help get Vicente up there and get him to the win in that championship. Was that kind of was that the only sole purpose and goal for your night tonight? Obviously, you also, competing in the playoffs as well for yourself, but was helping the 14 the only priority that you guys had for tonight?
Yeah, for me it was because I was 34 points back, so I was pretty much out of the picture. So my whole purpose was to come in and help Vicente get up there and win that championship.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we'll see if that happened or not, but definitely a valiant effort, and you got him to the point where he could at least win the race, and we'll see how the chips fall from there. But obviously, we still got to give you, your opportunities, roll that red carpet out for you, and give you any opportunities for thanks or shout-outs you'd like to give for that third place finish here tonight, Paul.
Well, I got to give a good shout out for you guys coming in and broadcasting, Admin Box for sponsoring, and Vicente, my teammate, congrats on the win. And everybody here at Area 51, I'm pretty excited about coming back next season and doing every race. I came in the middle of the season, so I was blessed to get into the championship run. So looking forward to next season.
Should be a lot of fun indeed, and great way to cap off a pretty good season for yourself. Finishing in third here, obviously helping Vicente get up to that race win tonight. And congratulations to you, Paul, and looking forward to seeing you next season.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Alrighty, we are waiting for those points updates to come, and definitely, I mean, we'll probably give it a moment here to try and see if we can sort out from behind the scenes where the points are going to be, because obviously the next two drivers that we get to talk to are going to be the ones that were in position to win that championship. So we'll see if I mean, I definitely had some good nights. I mean, you see here, obviously, this is just before the 411 of Tom Dixon had his motor expired. Definitely a very strong run, and want to give him a big shout out for that wonderful Halloween scheme that he has here tonight. And definitely had a couple chances to get to talk to him lately after he's had a really strong finish to the season, and love to see all the Halloween schemes that we had out here tonight. Obviously, Vicente is not quite a Halloween scheme, but definitely some yellow and a little bit of orange maybe to go with the season. Adam Kilday running his normal colors. We'll see. Does anybody? I'm trying to remember if anybody else. Yeah, Dean Wilkinson had a really great Cheerwine. Obviously, always runs the Cheerwine colors, but a really great Halloween nod. And then Justin Davis with the Boosh scheme. So always fun to see all these really talented painters in this league and what they're doing, and it's fun to have fun with some of these creative paint schemes.
Yeah, and boom, we had 11 different winners on Friday night. We only ran 14, 15 races. I mean, I don't know where the competition gets any better than that than here. I mean, 11 different winners at the tracks we went to. Atlanta, handful. That's tough. iRacing Superspeedway, what a track. Talladega, Daytona. These drivers, man, they gave us one heck of a season on Friday night. When this is our first season on Friday nights again, and man, I think these drivers did one heck of a job. They made it definitely a lot easier on us.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of fun to watch these guys do battle, and I mean, it was a great opportunity that we got to see. Yeah, I mean, it's incredible to see the parity for how many drivers have actually won this season, as you mentioned there. I mean, it is crazy. I mean, we went for a while without having a single repeat winner, and then took us a while to get to like I said, multiple repeat winners as well. So definitely a pretty good season with a lot of different drivers up in the front.
Yeah, and it just shows the league and the competitiveness, and we've seen it on Sundays too. You want to win at Area 51, and it means something. And we've already got confirmation. He came back. He's doing football right now on Fridays. But Ryan Decker, he's back next season. Paul Witt just confirmed he's back next season. A lot of these drivers are going to come back, and as it starts to get cold, iRacing picks up a little bit more, and I love it. So, man, I'm not ready for the off season yet.
It's coming up here pretty quickly. Obviously, we've got another race to run on Sunday night, and definitely gonna need to tune into those as well. So, all right, so we are going to finish up our interviews here. So it'll start with the 85 of Adam Kilday. We'll bring him up next. He was the second place finisher in the race for tonight, and definitely had a really good run towards the end. Adam, doing everything you possibly could there to put yourself in position at the end, and it seemed like you were in control for a lot of the night tonight.
Yeah, we gave one of these a good try. We came close, but yeah, you're right. It came down to the end for sure. I kind of started went more with like the conservative approach. Probably got too conservative at the end, and I wasn't aware who was behind David at the time. So initially when I seen like a yellow truck go up to the third, I assumed it was Jack Walls because he also drives a plain yellow truck, and it wasn't until the last second when he was passing me that it was the 14 events on that last lap. So I was like, oh crap, this isn't good. But I knew he was gonna drive out of his mirror to probably block so he could get the win. So I didn't want to force it too much and then wreck ourselves because I knew I still had my teammate to rely on the bottom. So we were trying to get David to send it up to the wall, and then I was going to go up with him, type of deal. But yeah, Vince threw a block on him, and then we all kind of got tangled up. Somehow I got through that and still got a P2. I think it was just a couple lap cars around me that really we finished next to, so it kind of gave me those positions. But yeah, we came short of the bonus points, and what was it, maybe like 2 points shy of this thing. So yeah.
Yeah, man, I know this one stings, man, but you had one heck of a season. Don't hang your head on anything. I think it was like 10 top 10s and 7 or 8 top 5s, and to be competing with the guys that you were all the way until the very end. I mean that says what type of driver you are right there. And when you get this close that you did, what does this do to motivate you for next season and how you approach next season?
Um, I'm not sure. I mean, I've only ran like 2 full seasons Area 51, like trying to compete for a championship. But next season, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might pop in a race every now and then and run with whoever type of deal. Maybe run solo for part time and go back to the way it used to be when I first started the league racing, and just try to enjoy the races. If Gael or whoever admins are in Area 51 will let me run. So that'll be my goal next season. As far as everything else, if some other guys come back, former teammates, so maybe I could talk some of my Monday teammates into uh, running part time with me next season in Area 51 on Friday nights, and we could all just you know, have fun racing or whatnot with one another in Discord. But we'll see. I don't know what the plans are, but yeah, this season was pretty fun for the most part. It had a good number of cars at the start. I don't know what happened to the attendance on Friday nights, but yeah, you kind of want to see more cars in these playoff races. But so but yeah, all in all, it was a fun season, and so yeah, definitely appreciate those guys for putting on this season and moved Area 51 to a weekend night, which was kind of cool to see. So Friday nights are usually good to race on, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, you hear a little bit of the dejection in your voice, coming up. I believe, like you said, it was 2 points short in the championship. But I mean, that's definitely still quite a bit to be proud of. As far as I think it was 10 top 10s and 5 top 5s on the season for 14 races, which is a pretty decent stat for you. So definitely, always stinks to come up that short, I'm sure. But hopefully, there's some positives for you to take away there.
Yeah, it's I kind of was doing different things with trying to help my teammate and put uh us both trying to put each other in good position for one another to maximize our best finish at the end. But yeah, we took some notes from this thing for sure. um Probably be something to improve on in the future for team racing. And so yeah, at the end of the day, I'll definitely take that. But um didn't think it would be possible, because like you said, you do got some good heavy hitters in here. But yeah, unfortunately we were missing Les tonight too. So yeah, Les didn't show up. But he was also in a position to maybe win this thing as well. So yeah. But all in all, like these guys, they race clean, and really, it's like a solid group of like 15 of these guys that run these week in and week out, and it's similar to other leagues I run in. Uh, like Speedway Monkeys and OP, they have a good, cool, calm, collected crew that runs every week together. And it's no toxicity or none of that, no egos being thrown around type of thing, and that's something that's like really rare to
Yeah,
find in iRacing.
yeah.
So it's these are one of 3 leagues that offer that, and you can't ask for anything better, really.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Adam, definitely, I mean, still a solid season. Second in the championship, second overall tonight. Got a win on the season. But want to roll that red carpet out. I know you've said some very kind words already, but is there any other thanks or shout outs you'd like to give for that second place tonight?
We'll definitely do a shout out to David Overstreet for racing with me tonight. I greatly appreciate his help. He tried everything he could, and at a point I was hoping that maybe we could get him the win, but yeah, we I don't know, something happened. Our lane got disorganized, but was hoping to get him the win, and then we walk out with the championship, but it didn't come down to that, which is what I would have preferred. Um, Watching David walk away with one of these for the finale. But yeah, so huge thanks to him. Huge thanks to all the guys. Once again, the drivers. It was a rough race. It seemed like the server was a little out of whack, kind of, sort of. There was some net code and cars getting stuck on one another. It was weird. So weird stuff was happening, but we stuck through it and didn't cause any issues with anyone. There was no beef or none of that. So everyone saw it for what it was. So shout out to the drivers for keeping that cool, calm, and collected again. And we'll do a shout out to the league, Area 51. I don't know who runs the show still. I know it's probably a few different guys. But we'll definitely shout out the admins in charge of this league. Green White Checker TV on YouTube with Boomer Logan and Briggs.
Yeah, Mr.
Is this
Brandon Briggs. Yeah.
Brandon Briggs. Yeah, thank you for your time doing the commentary as well, man, and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Adam, definitely a pleasure getting a chance to talk to you again this season, and still, a very hard-earned victory, and hopefully we get it, or sorry, a hard-earned second place finish, and hopefully we get a chance to see you more again in the future and in the next season.
Will do, man. See what happens.
All right, take care, buddy.
All right, you too.
Well, that leaves us with one, and it is going to be a double header for an interview because Vicente Guerrero not only has won the race, he wins the championship and gets enough bonus points to finish ahead of Adam Kilday, passing him on the final lap. That's got to be an incredible way to cap off your season here this season, Vicente.
Yeah, for sure, man. That was I'm still trying to catch my breath from that one. It was just really intense driving there. But yeah, I'm stout, man.
Man, congratulations, Vicente. You had, I mean, if you look back at your season, it was really like a roller coaster, up, down, up, down. Man, you came into sometimes into these interviews and was down on yourself or upset, and I'm glad it all worked out. What did you think when you seen the first 30 laps, guys flipping upside down in the front and the back? How'd you stay calm, and what made you start driving through pit road and losing that track position? That really started to scare me with some drivers dropping back there. What made you keep doing that?
Just trying to get the most laps led. I was trying to see if I could lead a few there. And then just jump to the back and then just trying to get some laps led because I know those were 2 bonus points and that would help me, or at least keep them from getting it. Like the other drivers, and I was just trying to play a numbers game.
Yeah, well, it seemed like it worked out pretty well. Obviously, coming up with enough points there to win by just a couple there. I mean, obviously, I think you kind of understood towards the end there. We were kind of estimating that you were probably a position or two or a point or two behind the 85 there and needed to finish at least 1 or 2 spots ahead of them. But obviously, with the race win, you get the extra bonuses for being the race winner. I'll try to pull it up now and see if I can come to exactly where those bonus points fell. But I think it assumed towards the end of that race you kind of knew exactly what you needed to do and where you needed to be, right?
Yeah, yeah. I seen it and coming out of was it turn 4 there and into the turn there. I was just trying to watch and drive off my mirror and just maintain that P1 spot as much as I could and trying to keep Kilday behind me. Um, I know Dean was close by and he was also really close in the points there too. I think he was tied with me coming into this race, like 6 behind Gabe. So I mean, it was cool to see all of us have a shot at it right there at the end. So and I just happened to be in the right spot in the right time and pulled it off.
Yeah, indeed. So on the broadcast, we were expecting that Adam Kilday was going to get the bonuses for leading the most laps. So he did get that 2-point bonus. But obviously, with finishing in first, you get more points there. So you get 40 points for finishing first. So it's a 5-point bonus over Adam. You had 1 bonus point for a lap lead. He had 3, with a difference of 3 points. Coming into tonight, you were 1 point behind him. That puts you 2 points ahead. And I mean, definitely seemed like that was, I mean, incredible execution. Obviously, we mentioned, or we talked to Adam already, obviously, and he said on that last lap, he kind of lost track of who was where and thought he saw a yellow car and thought it might have been Jack Walls, but it seemed like you were kind of in a position to make the moves you needed to and get ahead of that 85 and bring it home.
Yeah, I kind of threw him off with that card right there. I actually thought I'd just throw in a new paint scheme just for the hell of it, so they wouldn't know my car, and it kind of played out right there. What I'm hearing from you and Kill Days. So, but yeah, that played out pretty good. I like this paint scheme here. I painted it for Vent Service and Repair, which is my little business there, and turned out pretty good, I think.
Yeah, no, it's a good looking truck. Love the color scheme, and it definitely seems like who knows, maybe threw him off just a little bit or enough. But I mean, you were in position pretty much all night and put yourself there. And like I said, you knew where you needed to be and what you needed to accomplish. Obviously, with Adam Kilday kind of being, with Gabe getting that black flag, you kind of knew that the 85 was there. But I mean, it seemed like you guys had a pretty good plan and never really let the pressure kind of get to you guys and did what you needed to at the end.
Yeah, for sure. When Gabe got that black flag and he had to serve it, I feel bad for him. They got it because there was a massive checkup there, and I kind of darted to the right because I would have gave whoever was in front of me a damage, and Gabe probably would have got some damage for me running into me. So I mean, we did what we needed to do. Unfortunately, Gabe got the black flag there, and or else he would have been in it, if not possible winning it. Feel it for him. And throughout the race, just towards the end there, I just want to make sure no cautions came out because you can't give Gabe another chance because he'll take it from us.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he's probably one of the most prolific winners, especially for championships in this league's history. But I mean, you were right there, and we've seen where you can't make mistakes. You guys didn't make any mistakes on your final pit stops, and obviously you did what you needed to do on that final lap to get ahead of Adam, get the race win, and that was everything you needed to win that championship. So I do want to know, do you have any plans to celebrate this for tonight?
No, actually, I don't. I'm not really feeling good. I feel like I'm getting a sore throat, so I actually didn't have a few refreshments tonight, so I skipped out on that. So I might have to continue skipping on it because obviously I won tonight, so I didn't have to go take some restroom breaks between the race. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, well, hopefully you're feeling better soon and get a chance to celebrate this championship. If I'm not mistaken, I believe is this your first championship here in Area 51?
Yeah, my first championship here in Area 51.
Yeah, how does it feel?
It feels really good. It's really good. This is actually one of the first leagues I joined when I first started iRacing. So to come back and race my roots and come back here and get another win and pulling off a championship, it means a lot to me.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, had a good season, got into the playoffs, and executed when it mattered most. So we'll roll that red carpet out for you, Vicente, and give you any thanks or any opportunities for any thanks or shout outs you'd like to give for the race win tonight and taking home the championship as well.
Yeah, I want to thank you guys for broadcasting. Can't wait to watch this one back. Area 51 and all their admins for what they do and for letting us race here. Of course, all the boys here racing with us. I also want to give a huge shout out to my pops. It's actually his birthday today, so he told me race aggressive but race smart. And so this one's for you, pops. And then I also want to shout out my mom there too, and all my family out in Arizona, my wife, my kids, everybody. Appreciate it. Oh, and Paul Witt too. I wouldn't have done it without him. Yeah, he played a big role me getting this championship tonight. So that and Cody throughout the season, he was helping me through this season too. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it tonight, but yep.
Definitely. Well, congratulations to you, Vicente. I believe that's your fifth career win here in Area 51 and the first championship. And like I said, hope you feel better and hope you get a chance to celebrate it soon. But congratulations, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you again next season.
Yep, for sure. Thank you, boys.
Alrighty, that'll do it for the interviews, and that will conclude the season here on Friday nights. Definitely a really great battle all the way to the end, and it just shows you can't count yourself out of it. We knew that the 14 needed to be ahead of the 85, and it needed to be by 2 spots, and then he goes out, passes the 85 on the last lap, and gets enough points to win the championship.
Yeah, heck of a run there for the 14, and man, you had to drive as we talked about earlier in the race, all 75 laps, and it started rocky and got a little bit smoother and a little bit rocky there towards the end, but you had to wheel that truck tonight to get a win, and man, it just built up for Sunday. Some of these guys are gonna have to come back again on Sunday and do it again, and it's looking like it's gonna come down to I think Gabe Butler and Maxwell over there, and Gabe's probably a little upset with himself tonight. And if I'm Maxwell Caldwell, I would get a good night's sleep on Saturday because that 88's hungry.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, like Vicente said, it sucks to see Gabe get that penalty, and it definitely, sucks to see that take him out of it. But obviously, I mean, Vicente and Adam had a really good battle at the end, and I mean, you could really hear the dejection there in Adam's voice, because he came so close to winning it and just lost track of that different paint scheme for Vicente, as he mentioned, and yeah, the 14 took advantage on that final lap and had enough to bring home that championship. So I don't have to talk about schedule for Friday nights because obviously this will be the last race for Friday nights for 2025. We'll be back in 2026 though, and we're looking forward to another strong season. But before we finish this year out, we still have one more race to run. So we'll bring up that Sunday schedule here and we will show you the final race at Talladega in just 2 days' time. And we'll be ready to crown a champion there as well. So we're looking forward to bringing you that here on Championship Weekend. A lot of fun, a lot of action, and if tonight's race was any indication and how tight the points battle is on Sunday nights, it is going to be a great show that you are absolutely not going to want to miss. So, yeah, we've got that, and then checking in on the Tuesday schedule as well. We should have 2 more races left there. So we'll be at Las Vegas on the 11th of November. So there'll be an off week next week on the 4th of November. I think I said 11th. Yeah, the 4th of November, that Tuesday, they'll be at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and then they'll take a week off on the 11th and the 18th of November. They'll be back for the Indianapolis 500K, and that is a double points finale and a season-long championship format. So big shakeup in that final race there for the IndyCar Series on Tuesdays as well. So, like you said, if tonight was any indication, you are not going to want to miss the action on Sunday night. 75 laps here at Talladega Superspeedway. We're going to change to the Xfinity Series car, and we're going to see the likes of Maxwell Caldwell, Gabe Butler, and others go to compete for that championship there. So Gabe has one more opportunity after falling a little bit short tonight, but still a valiant effort and a good season for him and all the drivers here at Area 51. So, Brandon, you got anything else for us to highlight before we say goodbye here for the last time on Friday nights this season?
No, just hoping we see a lot of these drivers back. Like I said, we had some confirmation that some drivers are coming back next season already. I'm excited. Area 51 still the best around. I'm not biased just because I'm commentating. I've raced it. I've watched it. There ain't nothing better around. If you think you are a good super speedway driver, come beat them. It's tough to do. These guys are really good at what they do, and it's not always just the 88 or the 14 he won tonight, but 11 different winners this season. It's tough. It's different over here. If you think what you got, let's see it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was from start to finish a really great season. Obviously, Cody Nagels grabs the first victory. David Overstreet grabs an early victory. Rick Sanchez doesn't run a full schedule, but he wins the third race. Gabe Butler finally gets his first race, won in the fourth race of the season. Charles Johnson grabs a checkered flag for himself. The sixth race was won by Gabe. Then Everett Lane throws his name in the hat. Robert DuPont won the eighth race. Everett Lane came back to be the only other repeat winner on this season. Then Paul Witt won his race on the 10th race of the season. Then we had Jack Walls, Adam Kilday, Les Levy, and Vicente Guerrero to finish out the race winners for the season. So, again, if this is any indication tonight how exciting it can be in the Super Speedway style of racing, Sunday is going to be just as action-packed, and we've got a champion to crown and decide there as well. So, that'll do it for us tonight for Friday nights. You won't see us again here in 2025 on Fridays, but we'll be back, I promise, with more Super Speedway action into 2026. And again, do not miss the race in just 2 days' time. We're going to crown a champion here on Sunday night this weekend, as well in the Sunday Xfinity Super Speedway Series. So, for myself, Boomer Logan, for my good friend Brandon Briggs up here in the booth, we're going to sign off. We're going to say have a great week. Hopefully see you Sunday, and we'll catch you in the next one.